Yo, what's up, Josh? So let's go ahead and let's jump into this ES trade. All right, so based upon the image you sent over, okay, the entry was here trying to take the kind of the breakout of the opening range on the first 15 minutes. Again, reasonable strategy. It makes sense, right? To get in kind of at the breakout of the opening range. One thing I would say about the entry is just be aware of a back test, right? There's a good probability that there's always going to be some kind of a back test. All right, we can see that when it broke out over here. So for me, it was 11 o'clock. For you, it was 10 o'clock. When it broke out, it back tested twice before pushing up to the higher side. All right, so there's always a good probability that there's going to be a back test. And so after we had the macro failed breakdown where we recovered the previous low, all right, at the market, kind of before the market opened here, and then recovered this low, we've now gotten a change of character. And so the market is looking bullish. It's looking for a move to the upside. So market opens here, candle swings around back and forth. But now you can see as we recovered 64.66, we start finding some support here. All right, so we spent an hour in between 64.46 and 64.74. All right, at the high here. All right, so the longer that we spend in a zone like that, in my opinion, there's a good probability that we're going to push out. Right? If there's sellers entering in here, we want it to kind of more quickly move to the downside. So I think your assessment for a buy was correct. Just be aware of what the supports are, right? And try and get as near to the support as possible. But again, still applicable. Just I would say for this to be really confirmed. All right, and I'll get to why to get really confirmed. Wait for the back test. Sometimes there's not a back test, right? But a lot of times there is. All right, and so let's say it's purely a volume play. Then okay, get in the trade and throw your stop immediately to take profit. Because then worst case scenario, if it comes and clicks you out, then you can just get back in the trade again once it's revalidated. All right, and the reason I think you DCA'd here, right, because I can see that as price came down, right, as price came down, you entered in here again, all right, and then you entered in here on this candle. All right, so first entry here, and then entered down here, and then entered again up here. So I think this entry, not great. All right, I mean, that's just me, right? I'm not a fan of dollar cost averaging. All right, but I think the second one was good, right? Because now you're entering based upon confirmation that, okay, we're coming back to my level. I think even better, a better one would be upon this exit, and then this back test is where you enter another one. All right, so second one, not as bad. And I think the reason that you DCA'd probably is because in the back of your mind, you realize this probably wasn't as good of an entry as you wanted, right? And price obviously came back down here to the 60s, right, before moving back to the upside. So while it worked out this time, again, just keep those supports in mind. If you keep those supports in mind, you can start to better pre-plan your entries and think about the areas that you want to get in. Because again, you want to get into areas that buyers are getting in, right? If you're looking for a buy. All right, so second entry there, and then we'll get to the profits here immediately. So let's say you entered here, and you said your stop loss was 50 ticks. All right, I don't know, I'm sure it adjusted over time as you bought in more positions. I don't know if you left it right there. All right, but 50 ticks to the downside here, sitting below the opening range. So I don't necessarily think that 50 ticks is bad. All right. The thing that I think about is that, okay, if my stop is 50 ticks and I want to have a positive ratio, all right, that would mean that, if I keep it at 50 ticks, or if it does come down and get hit, that means that I have to have a pretty significantly big trade for the next one in order for this trade to be a good trade, right? At least 1-to-1. Now, if I pull up the indicator here, I can see that, the entire range of volume since the overnight session is 93 ticks. All right, so 50 ticks on 93 tick, full volume range is like, so basically you're asking for half the total volume range. All right, which normally and most likely isn't going to happen. Sometimes, again, it can, especially if volatility picks up like it did here. All right, once we started to get some panic towards the end of the day. All right, but I would say, you're going to have to adjust it based upon the day, right? But something like 50 ticks, while it's safe in terms of a stop loss, right? Again, your stop loss is there for your protection, right? And so I don't think you have to make it as wide. Now, in this scenario, it works. But again, keep in mind that if you want to have a positive ratio on 50 ticks, that means you need to make at least 50 ticks to the plus side. Because what if that would have gotten stopped out, right? How many more ticks would you have expected? How many more ticks would you have expected the rest of the day? Right, so it would have been a little bit harder to get a better positive ratio with 50 ticks. Now, what you can do, say, for example, you started at 50 ticks, which, again, still in this scenario, you probably wouldn't 100% need to. All right, but as the trade starts playing out, I would pretty much instantly start, trailing it up and start managing the stop loss up. All right, just so you keep, especially as you start adding in positions, right? Because if you add in positions, right, if you add in positions, you start to increase your risk. All right, so worst case scenario, all right, you had 64.66 as a pretty obvious low down here, especially once these candles started back testing it. Again, 64.66, pretty obvious. All right, and so once that really started playing out, all right, then you could have at least dragged your stop up to there. All right, and then quickly started continually moving it up after we left 64.66 with some serious volume here. And then I usually just go below the previous low. So like even if we went down to like a lower time frame here, all right, so let's say, for example, again, we're starting to see 66 act as support here. So let's say it finally comes down to here, gives one more push down, and then we get 3 big 1 minute volume candles up. All right, then my stop gets moved up to this previous low. All right, and then this low is created. So now my stop gets moved up to this low. All right, and now we can ride this all the way up. All right, so that's what I would say about the stop. Again, just be aware that like if you're setting your stop at 50, again, sometimes you have to be strategic about this and manage it. If you're setting your stop at 50, then you need to basically try and get 50 ticks, right? Because there may be a scenario where there's a whipsaw, where price just rips down or up and just causes a liquidation. Then you get liquidated out, and that's 50 ticks. But if your average profit is only 25, 30 ticks, depending upon your win rate, obviously it all can come down to that as well. But depending upon your win rate, it's going to take a lot more to get that 50 back. So you can start with 50, but I would quickly start managing it. All right, and really start thinking about, okay, where's the rest of the market putting their stops? Where do I not want to get liquidated? All right, then once the market starts to establish a low, move the stop to that low and then move to the next low and then just follow the movement up. If you get stopped out, oh well, you can always jump back in. Yeah, and you get stopped out in profit. All right. So the first two ads make sense, but technically, yeah, like I said, technically I was still in the red. Again, I don't like adding to losers. So that's just me. All right. So given the fact that we sat here for a while, again, I would have just waited for an actual exit and then a back test and then a push through. And again, and again, it's all right. But I think you added to them probably because you knew that this entry kind of sucked because it immediately reversed against you, which is okay. Happens sometimes. But yeah, just be aware where the supports are and try and get an entry as near to the support as possible. If it doesn't come back to the support, then you miss the trade. There's going to be more. First TP appropriate or too low? All right, so the first TP was up here at 80. I think that was an acceptable profit target again because the previous high, all right, was over here at 80 to 82. So 80 to 82 was a very good range for the first take profit. So first take profit was there. So you sold 3 there. Again, I think that was good. And again, here's the scenario where it's like, okay, that was only 23 ticks to the top. So that's where, if 50, you shouldn't have left it as for sure to 50 the entire time. I know you said once you closed at that first TP, you threw it up to break even. Again, good. Just be aware that you got to make sure that you're mitigating that on the way up as well so that you don't get whipsawed out. Let's go back to the 5 minute here and let's look at your next TP. So again, 80, yeah, very, very acceptable target. All right. It was the high of the range. It was high. It was the, not the overnight high yet. But let's see, where was the open? It's the open. I mean, it was actually even way below the open here. But I think this was for sure an acceptable trade. I think that for sure, like it was 66 It was 66 to 80 here was the play, but again, still worked out. So hey, then that's all right, right? We like happy accidents. And then you started to sell on the downtrend again here. So I would have said, well, now that we've cleared 74, we want 74 to become our support now. All right. So ideally, we wouldn't want 74 to fail. So I would have set my stop, which I don't know if where yours was at in terms of break even. Since we added in some entries down here and then one here. So I would have, wanted my stop to be below 74. All right, as the previous low and the area to recover. All right, because then we did get some more push to the upside. All right, now here's where I would have started getting a little worried, obviously, as we attempted some breakthrough 80s here, and then we got one big move candle up at 1240, and then a quick reversal, back test, and then failure, back test, continued failure. All right, so let's take a look at the next question. First TP I think was good. Should I move my stop loss to break even sooner? So I don't know about break even sooner, right? But definitely higher than 50, right? So, for sure, just start managing it up to the previous lows. Should I have let price hit my stop loss at break even instead of closing out? Let's see where you closed. So sell 3, sell 2. Okay, so sell. No, I think that was applicable. Depending on how close you were trailing it. You said sell 2 there. So yeah, I mean, if you were trailing it like on the shorter term time frame. Let's see, we're 74 back here. So if you were trailing it like on the shorter term time frame. All right, so here's the push through 74. 74 comes down. I mean, so we do have a previous low here, right? Ideally, we would have wanted that to hold on the shorter term, but obviously it did not. All right, so then 74 on the on the 5 minute would is where we wanted to be our support. All right, so this is probably where I would have set my stop, but I would understand if you wanted it to be here below this previous low. All right, which it did come down here and push off, and so. Let's say, for example, we were stopped here and then it pushed off, but didn't create a new high. I mean, at that point would have closed. I would have closed it out too. All right, but and if it's your runner, then it's not too big. And if it's not too big of a deal, again, you could have gone on the longer term on like the 5 minute down to the previous low or the previous recovery, which would have been 74. Now there was a probability that it came through 74 and came back down to 66, but in this scenario, it did not. There was a good probability it was probably going to come and back test 80 again before moving to the downside like it did.